Hey, this is Robert, and thank you for tuning in to the show. And yeah, I'm just eager that this is my second interview twice in a row already today. So yeah, we're just keeping it going. So today we're having somebody who just said that I believe this is their first actual podcast interview. This is Charles in the corner. You might have seen him and heard him in a lot of, Crunchyroll Funimation titles that we'll definitely get into in a little bit. But yeah, thank you so much for joining me today. And yeah, this is going to be a lot of fun. How are you doing?
Yeah, I'm doing well, Robert. Thank you for having me. Thank you for giving me my first voice acting interview regarding voice acting. I really appreciate that. I'm doing well
Yeah.
right now. I know it's Monday. I know daylight savings pretty much like
Yeah.
screwed a lot
Oh,
of
yeah.
people's sleep schedules over, but actually, unironically, I'm having a good day today, so I can't complain.
Yeah, that's what it is, man. I completely just wow. I'm just gonna be enjoying the when it starts getting dark at around like 7 or 8 now, because before it used to be like 6. But hey, um, it kind of sucks that I lost an hour of sleep. But you know what? I'm not really complaining because I get to stay up later because I am a night owl. I'm
Forced
the
to be
creature of
a
the night. Yeah.
forced to be an early bird here due to work, my day job, but I used to be a night owl
Oh,
just like you. Yeah.
oh, yeah. I'm sorry, bud.
It is what it is. Got to pay the bills somehow.
True, true. But yeah, I'm just really happy to do this because I know we've got a couple of titles that we want to talk about. But first, I just wanted to ask you kind of the generic same old, but how is 2025 so far for you?
It's been quite eventful. I was in
Hmm.
Japan during
Oh,
January. Yeah,
oh,
for around 10 days. And
cool.
honestly, it might have been, it is actually my favorite trip to date abroad. And it's because it's Japan. I'll give you the quick rundown. We visited like
Okay,
Akihabara, Roppongi, Shinjuku. We were at Shibuya Crossing. Uh, Gosh,
fun.
I really miss Japan. It's to the point where I'm eating like
Man.
Japanese food every single day because the food over there is just so good.
Oh my gosh,
Yeah.
man. It is on my bucket list, man. One of these days,
Oh
dude.
my gosh, I highly recommend. Like, if you need to save that money, save up to like 3K. Like, it's so worth it. And you don't even need to save that much because the food over there is like cheap. I was like eating like a king. I was like, oh God, the bill's gonna be like 30 bucks, 15 bucks, 10 bucks. What is this? Yeah, I miss Japan. I miss Japan.
Man. Take me with you next time you go. But yeah, I'm just really glad that you had your I guess J Japan like kind of experience over there. And yeah, like I said, one of these days I know it's gonna happen. Seriously.
Yeah, it has to happen. It has to happen. You gotta make it happen.
Oh yeah. But
Highly recommend.
yeah, so I guess with that said, let's just get right to the questions here. So I
All right.
guess I don't want to go with the generic, like, how did you get started? But was this always something that has been like in your radar for voiceover acting, or was it something else entirely? Because I like learning different backgrounds of different folks that I have on here.
Okay. Yeah, well, speaking of different backgrounds, I didn't actually start out with acting until I didn't start voice acting until I was like 19. And that was like on a whim too. I'm 32 right now. I turned 33 August of this
Hey,
year.
happy
Yeah.
belated birthday, I guess.
Or really early birthday.
Early.
But
Oh yeah, yeah, I'm
yeah,
sure.
I didn't really do a lot of acting. I come from a very conservative Asian family, so anything that doesn't make money is something that isn't, I guess, promoted within the family. Like so that's why I'm an accounting major. I went to university for my accounting degree, and that's what I do for my job right now.
Sweet.
Mhm.
Yeah, I guess that's pretty interesting because I know that for a lot of us, we kind of start out with it can either be something that kind of set off like a little light bulb of like, oh, okay, maybe this seems pretty theater. So, like, I know a lot that have done theater or they just really grew up loving anime or video games and all that stuff. But yeah, like I said, my podcast has a lot of people that came from many different backgrounds. So that is something that I'm really, really, really grateful for is like having the different perspectives and different, input on so many different like journeys and how it just kind of all snowballed from there.
Yeah, and in regarding that, I honestly really loved anime ever since I was just like when I was learning English. English is my second language, Vietnamese is my first. So I would watch a lot of like American media, like in Kids WB. Sailor Moon was actually my first anime. And then Sailor Moon, and then like Pokemon, and then you got the Fox box, or like
Oh,
Metabots, Ultimate
oh,
Muscle.
Fox Box. Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's how far we're going back.
This
That's
was
how old I
before
am.
four kid. Yeah, this was before we got the four kids. Yeah, going way,
Yeah.
way, way, way back. Yeah.
Yeah, I loved anime.
OG.
I didn't even know it was anime during that time. It was just cartoons to me.
Yeah. So did
Yeah.
you watch like Digimon when it was on the Fox Kids?
Oh yeah. It
Oh,
was
yeah.
Digimon, Sonic
Hits
X,
WB. Ooh,
Ultimate
yeah.
Muscle, Metabots.
Oh man. Wow.
What else am I going back? I think I go
I
way.
haven't, you don't really hear those shows anymore. I mean, like, you still got Sonic X and Digimon, but yeah, Ultimate Muscle, like, yeah.
Oh yeah. Kirby right back at you.
Kirby, yes. Oh my gosh, yes, Kirby, man. I
Yeah.
know that yeah, I just also wanted to point out real quick, I don't care what anybody says, I actually enjoyed the cheesiness of the 4Kids dubs. Fight me.
Oh, oh my
Yeah.
gosh, I love them. I'm actually currently watching Yu-Gi-Oh! GX right now. And
Yeah,
I know sometimes they have some questionable choices, but I actually love those questionable choices. In fact, I just love the Yu-Gi-Oh dub in general. Original
yeah.
to Yu-Gi-Oh GX. I mean, like the original, you got like Joey Wheeler, like Red Eyes Black Dragon, and like Pegasus, and like yo Yugi boy. And then you got Yu-Gi-Oh GX, you got like get your game on, and then like Chaz
Oh my
Princeton, he's like, oh,
gosh.
you cipher slackers. I mean, I just
Oh
loved it. There's so much
gosh.
character, and you can tell they're having so much fun
Yeah, it's kind
with
of like
that
the
dub.
same as when I interviewed who was it? She was on Sailor Moon. Oh, Mary Long and also Terry from like the OG Sailor Moon dubs where
Oh wow.
that was the one where, Molly had that kind of like the Brooklyn accent. And they had all like these different accents in there, but I don't know, something about it just feels so like I don't know. It's really silly, but at the same time like it. Sailor Moon is kind of like one of those shows where it's kind of like it could be a little like balls off the wall sometimes. So why not just throw something like that in there? You know what I'm saying? And also
Yeah.
same with Yu-Gi-Oh, Pokemon, even One Piece to some extent. I know a lot of people don't like the four kids, but I don't know. Um, Sanji,
It's
Brooklyn Sanji. I mean, it can have its hits in there, but yeah, but I don't know. I'm just kind of when we look at stuff and look at it from like perspective, because this was back in the 2000s where they were localizing these shows for kids. That's why they were called for kids. But even though they were questionable, they were kind of, shows that worked at the time that they were made. I mean, as we kind of go into
definitely.
like the 2020s, where we have what Crunchyroll and Bang Zoom, and pretty much a lot of these dubbing companies that are really stepping up their game, especially with the rise of when we were all locked down during COVID with the pandemic and everything. We
Mhm.
had to do the daunting task of all those simul-dubs. Yeah, simul dubs, how everything is just kind of like all like production is going like bam, 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 and then we're just working on so many different shows and actors just really upping their game. It's kind of really interesting when you watch a 2020 dub to like one from over a decade ago to the 2000s to the 90s. And oh man, I do love those 90s dubs.
Oh yeah. I mean,
Yeah.
90s dubs, they're hit and miss, but like there's something
Yeah,
endearing to that. There's like sometimes I'm of the opinions there are some things that are so bad it's good. And like
exactly.
I enjoy it for what it is. I mean, that's why I'm doing this. It's a lot of work. If you especially
Yeah,
want to get into this industry, like a lot of work.
exactly. Yeah.
And Yeah, they're definitely raising the standards. I'm still trying to get into band
Exactly.
sim, and getting the Crunchyroll
Yeah.
was like a year and a half effort of like
Ooh,
taking classes,
man.
reaching out. It was a lot of work. So, anyone who's listening to this, like, you got to love this. There is a lot of
Yeah.
work you have to put
I
into this.
mean, props to you, man. I mean, I've been doing this since 2017. Yeah, for almost close to 8 years now. And I've just been auditioning for a lot of these shows and stuff and just getting my name out there, just getting those auditions out there. But you know what? I'm just still, I'm just kind of persistent, okay?
Yeah, you
Which is
have
kind
to
of like I
be.
said, you have to, yeah,
You
exactly,
have
which
to
is a
be.
good thing.
That's
Yeah.
yeah, yeah. I respect that. I mean, like, I respect the grind, because I understand. I've been doing this since 2011. Uh,
Wait.
wow,
That
almost half
just
my
kind of felt,
life.
oh my God, that just felt like, man, 2011. It feels like it wasn't that long ago, but at the same time, it's like 14 years. My God.
Yeah, yeah. That's how long I've been doing this. I mean, like, and I'm still doing it. So the show's like, yeah, I actually still love it.
Exactly.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you have to love it,
But
and you have to be persistent.
because it does, I mean, I know we talk about the overnight success stories, but trust me, it's nothing is an overnight anymore.
No, no.
No.
There's. I think it's gotten even harder now.
Yeah. I don't even know how it was like, back in the old days when we used to have those VHS and we have to record auditions on like these video cassette tapes that you used to send out to Cage. But yeah, I know that they often say with the rise of social media, they I guess the one plus is like, with technology, we could just send it from home, but at the same time, I don't know, I'm kind of old fashioned and I just like doing it the old fashioned way where you could just go in a studio and actually audition for these people in person. That's just me though. That's me. You know. Uh
Yeah, we do a lot of our auditions like at home now, like just just in our booths.
yeah,
Uh,
which is kind of like the go-to as it seems right now.
I
Yeah.
mean, they have to go
Especially
sift.
after, yeah, especially when we had that pandemic, which
You can't
we don't want
help
to get
it.
into
I
that.
mean,
Yeah.
not to mention they have to sift through like more than like 500 auditions. I mean, like I've
Even
spoken to
more than
this.
that. Even more than
Yeah,
that. Yeah.
I've spoken to like some of the directors, and they told me like that they actually listen to the auditions after work. So
No, yeah, like
yeah,
that, especially as somebody who is just now casting for stuff, like I don't really listen to auditions until after the deadline because I don't want to be like, oh my gosh, I like this audition and then just cast early.
yeah. I mean, even in professional setting, that happens,
Mm.
and that's why you
I mean,
try to audition
in
within like
some
2 days.
cases, unless if you're under in a really like if it's a circumstance or a situation where you're under a very big time crunch, which happens a lot with simuldubs and anime, especially video games, dozen and dozens of projects that kind of have like rush auditions, which I can understand that, but at the end of the day, like you know, I don't know. It just really does depend from project to project, it seems.
Yeah, true, true. Yes.
Yeah. So yeah, let's talk about some of the work that you've done for video games and anime, because I know that a lot of people have I've the amount of Genshin voice actors that I've talked to on this show is just insane. But yeah, like with Genshin, for instance, it's kind of like a big one. But you've also been in like Kaiju number 8, uh, just a lot of these shows that are just really picking up steam. So yeah, just talk to us a little bit about, just getting to work on these shows and the overall thought process of getting to play these characters.
Okay, yeah, I'm happy to give you a bit of perspective on that.
Sure.
You're actually speaking to another person who worked in Genshin. I'm good
Yeah,
friends with,
another person.
yeah,
I've had so many Genshin voice actors.
I'm good friends with Zach Aguilar, who's the voice of Aether. A really
Oh
cool
man,
guy, genuine
yeah.
guy. Um, Working on Genshin was definitely a dream come true for me because I was actually a huge Genshin fan. And Zach just came up to me. He's like, "Hey, you want to be in Genshin?" I'm like, "Okay, yeah, sure, whatever."
You want to be in
You put,
Genshin
yeah,
Impact?
yeah. And I was like, "Of course." And one thing led to another, and now I'm actually a playable character in a game called Stranova. Um, his name is Nobunaga. I get to say lines like "domain expansion," which I'm really surprised they actually had that within the script. Um, and then that's one of the characters I'm really proud of. Nobunaga, and then I worked in Kaiju number eight. Thank you, Sean Gann. He is an amazing director. He always wants people to grow
Yeah,
in every single session, and I
yeah.
love that man. So thank you, Sean. And also thank you, Caitlin Glass, for letting me get into solo leveling because that is one of my favorite shows to date, and that has like inspired me to work out, just level up in everything. Just
Isn't that just the great? Isn't that just the best thing? Is when a show actually inspires you to just start, getting
oh
to the
yeah,
gyms.
yeah. I've been actually almost 2 years consistent with working
Hey,
out. Yeah. But yeah, solo leveling was like one of the because it's funny. Actually, when I came back from Japan, and they got this thing called vacation curse with the voice actors, where
oh yeah,
when you go into you take a
yes,
vacation, and then all the auditions start. So basically, when I was in Japan, I was
yes.
given like 4 auditions. I was like, well, I can't audition here because they're screaming lines, and the Japanese really like their quiet. And there was no closet because our hotel room was very compact because that's
Oh,
how Japan is. So I
oh,
was
okay.
like, well, this sucks. And then the moment
Hmm.
I came back, Caitlin Glass emailed me, hey, you want to be in solo leveling? I'm like, well, that made it up because that's like one of my favorite shows. I would have been really sad. But yes, it's been quite a journey with that, and just being in the booth with these very passionate people too. I mean, like Sean's booth is like there's tons of like Kaiju number eight, Apothecary Diaries, also a great show that I'm a part of, and and then when we went to Caitlin's booth, it was like solo leveling, Oron Host Club. What else is she? Spice and Wolf, and some
Yeah.
BTS stuff because she's a K-pop fan. But like, it's just really cool to just work alongside people who are just if not more passionate about the project as you are.
Yeah, like going back to Auron though, like Caitlin Glass was probably the biggest fan, and you could just tell in every single just second of just watching the English dub. It is just absolutely amazing how when you meet a director and just meet so many different people who are also just giant nerds. Like, look at me right here. I have all this Sonic video game stuff behind me. Chances are I'm gonna work with somebody who is pretty much just on the same level or maybe even more than I am. We'll just kind of geek out about this stuff more than actually recording or working, which happens with anything.
You're actually talking to a huge Sonic fan right here. I
Oh
actually
my
have like
God, yeah.
I watched regardless I don't know how you think about the movies, but I
Uh,
me and a bunch of friends we watched Sonic 3 last November or
I
was it
still haven't seen
December?
it.
Oh my gosh, it was so good. Like if you were an
Yeah,
SA2 fan, oh my gosh.
man, yeah.
The scenes in that movie, the final 30 minutes, man, like, oh my gosh. They were cooking. They were cooking. And
They
that last
cooked.
30 minutes were like specifically for fans. And like, I mean, because SA2, like, since we're both Sonic fans here, let me give you some, like, my background. SA2 was like
Oh boy,
one,
this
it
man
is my
about to.
favorite, it is my favorite Sonic game. I'm actually playing Sonic Unleash, the Rec
Oh, the PC.
compilation. Yes, I am playing that right now. Gosh, the music is so good, and endless possibilities. Like I love Sonic. Sonic's like the music. I went to like a Sonic Symphony last December actually,
My
and
God,
they played like songs from like Sonic '06, Sonic R, um,
wait, Sonic.
Frontiers, um, and I think that's as far as they went. And they didn't go down to Shadow Generations, but like,
Oh yeah,
gosh,
because it just came out.
yeah, yeah. To be fair, it did just come out, but like, yeah,
Yeah,
it was so. God, I love
yo,
Sonic. It's he's inspiring, got to go fast, and
yeah.
also, yeah, Shadow's my favorite character, so that's why Sonic 3 was my favorite movie out of the trilogy. Keanu Reeves, actually did a pretty good job as Shadow. I really liked it.
That's what I've heard. I haven't really listened to too much of a Shadow.
It's he surprised me. There was
Yeah,
one line I didn't really like the take of, but for the most part, he actually sounded pretty cool. I like his deep voice, like
yeah.
Maria, all that. Yeah,
It's because it's just Kanye Reeves, baby. Yeah.
yeah. Basically, they give him a gun. So,
Yeah. I mean, that's probably the main selling point.
oh yeah,
Kids, don't shoot. Have gun. I'm not going to go into that, can of worms. But yeah, what was I going to say? But yeah, just working on all these projects with all these directors and just getting to collab with all these people. And funny that you mentioned, the Sonic Symphony because I actually have a great story about that I'll share in just a second. But yeah, so it was my love of Sonic that kind of brought me a lot of these people. Like, if it wasn't for me just going to these conventions, like there's Sonic Revolution, which I'm going to give a huge shout out to, is a convention here in Southern California, LA. Like, if you're in the area, they usually have it every year in June, but they're taking a break this year because they want to do something special for the 35th anniversary. Yeah, 35 years. Oh my
oh my
like a few
goodness.
years ago, we were just celebrating the 30th anniversary. Now going into 30, just 35 is just unbelievable. But
Time has
yeah,
been a construct ever since COVID,
yeah. And I'm
honestly.
just like, I've been a fan for well over 20 years, and it's just, man, that is unbelievable.
We are eating
So
well as Sonic fans right now. We are eating
eating what,
very
boy,
well because
yeah,
we
like all
remember
the movie.
that decade of just bad Sonic games, and now we're actually getting very good Sonic games. We got like
Oh my God.
Frontiers and Shadow Generations. Shadow Generations was so good. I mean, you
Yeah.
played it, right?
Shadow Gen. I played the original Sonic Generations. That game has been on my to play go to list for like a while now, and it looks fine. I'll probably give it a shot.
Oh, it's
Um,
good. It's good.
but in my perspective, I'm kind of somebody who is like I grew up with the Dreamcast, the OG stuff. So,
Yeah.
of course, probably going to be like in an era where this is probably my Sonic, sort of soft spot, like Sonic Adventure, Adventure 2,
Yeah.
the Sonic 3, the OG Genesis stuff.
And
So,
Knuckles.
yeah, and Knuckles kind of given the Knuckles. So, I mean, I'm glad that this era, like a lot of people are really excited for the movies, Frontiers, and everything. I just would love to go back to the throwback, guess like, the Dreamcast, type of OG. Like I think we had like Superstars, but apparently it wasn't really very good from what I've heard. But
We got Mania.
and Mania, yeah, Mania. I'd like to start making more games like Mania. Like, bro, yo, when you were talking about Sonic, I'm like, oh, this man about to cook right now
Oh
when
yeah,
you started
yeah.
talking about Sonic. So yeah, I for Sonic Symphony, like just going into that real quick, uh they did play a lot of the classic stuff, and then they also did like the Frontiers, Forces, which was surprising. Let's see what else. I think they did Endless Possibility. Oh, the Night of the Wind. Oh my,
Oh yeah.
yeah.
They played
And
it
then when
on at our as well. Go on.
yeah, and then when the Shadow stuff started playing, people were like screaming at the top of their
All of
lungs. I
me.
literally
All
sat
of
to
me.
all of me. They were like, I was in a row where like a bunch of people were just shouting at the top of their lungs.
Yeah,
It
yeah.
was insane. But
Uh
yeah, it's just great getting to meet all these people, like the voice actors, like Ryan Drummond, Jason Griffith. I met two Sonic VAs. I still haven't met Roger just yet. It would be
he's gonna be hard to
wild.
get. He's gonna be hard to
Yeah,
get.
trust me, yeah. But so is Ben Schwartz, which it would be kind of crazy if a Sonic convention actually invites Ben, because I know Ben has been in a ton of stuff. Like I was a fan of Ben even before, the movies. Because I watched him on Parks and Recreation.
I knew you were gonna bring that up. He was
Yeah,
funny in that
Parks.
in that show.
Yeah, it was Parks, and also what else did he do? Like DuckTales. This show called Randy Cunningham. Yeah, he's in a lot of stuff, but
Yeah.
yeah. Oh my God, what's that one other And it's also really funny that like Ben and Chris Pratt were in the show and now they're Mario and Sonic in the movies, which is kind of crazy to think about. Um
It's a
and
wild
then
timeline.
yeah, Always Sunny in Philadelphia, like Charlie Day and all these people. Like it is just it's insane, Jack Black and so many different people that are just now crushing it in voiceover. Like we usually see them as like, oh, celebrity voice acting, but you know what? They did great for
I
the most
actually
part.
Jack
Yeah.
Black's a pretty good voice actor.
Yeah, like
He's a
Kung
great
Fu
actor.
Panda,
Yeah,
he's a
he's
great
good as
actor,
Poe.
voice actor. Yeah. This one underrated performance. I don't know if you've seen like the King Kong 2005 film, but he absolutely crushed it in
Oh
that
yeah, I
film.
remember now. Now that's coming back. I keep every time you people mention that movie, I think of that bug scene. If you
The
know which
but
one I'm talking about, where he goes
oh
crazy, he just starts swinging
oh
his
my
sword
God.
around.
Yeah, yeah. I know what you're talking about. But yeah,
Yeah.
just talk about all these shows and movies, and we just kind of sidetrack it time, which happens a lot on the show. But yeah, like going back to you though, like it's just really amazing how you could just see so many different voice actors, like what we're doing right now, just have this fiery just love and the passion for a lot of the stuff that you work on, and it just reflects in the performances, you know?
Yeah. I
Yeah,
love this. I've loved this since I was a kid. I'm not gonna stop doing it
exactly.
unless
Yeah.
the world, the meteor with that 3% chance of hitting this Earth just hits where I'm at. I'm not gonna stop.
Yeah. Yeah. I think I remember you posted a clip on Twitter, was it? And then if I'm not mistaken, it might have been you or another voice actor where you just kind of did like this my eyes moment from like
Oh yeah.
SpongeBob. Yeah, I think that was you.
That was me actually. It's funny because every time I show people that clip, they're like, "Wait, you can stream that high?" I'm like, "Yeah, yeah." I mean, like, okay, okay. Let me give you a little background about
Yeah, but
that specific
yeah,
clip.
just go give us some context because
Yeah.
I
So
had to bring that up. Yeah,
okay, so originally, and it's been a few months. I didn't know what the original line was, but it wasn't my eyes. Emily Fajardo, great director. I love
yeah.
her. She's amazing. She actually caught up with One Piece with the
Hey,
English dub with the
yeah.
Japanese dub.
Oh
She
my
ended up.
God, yeah,
I don't know
yeah.
if you saw her post, but it was beautiful. Like she
Oh my
released.
gosh, yeah.
Yeah,
It was
yeah.
brilliant. Yeah.
She's great. And so she looked at the line and was like, you know what? This could be funnier because the art style of my character was like very like big head, big eyes. So what originally was like a very normal sounding line, which is like, I can't take it, turned into like, oh my god, my eyes. And
Nice. Of
I'm a huge SpongeBob fan. Like I've watched SpongeBob since I was
course.
kids, and so I
Yeah.
was like, all right, I know how to do this because
Yes. I'm
I
just
love
waiting for
Miss.
my moment. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Because Mr. Lawrence was like one of my inspirations. Like he's one. He's the same fish that goes like, "Oh brother, this guy
This guy
stinks."
stinks.
I love that line. And that's one of my favorite lines from him. Mr. Lawrence is great. I love him as Plankton. Like the script that was inspired by him. The My Eyes line was like inspired by him. And there you go. You got that beautiful clip, and it made a lot of people
Yeah.
laugh, which makes me really happy. It really made it worth it.
Yeah. This kind of reminds me of, I think it was Kagi Films or Alejandro. He also threw in
Alejandro,
just
yeah.
yeah, some SpongeBob nods for some of the characters that he does. I remember seeing a clip of one of his characters that he plays in the show, and he outright confirmed that yes, when he was working with the director, they were outright channeling SpongeBob, and I'm just like, you know what? It just never dies. So yeah, I'm just
No,
so glad that this stuff just inspires us, and then we just kind of, I mean, they do say as actors we kind of steal from the best. So yeah, there you go.
Crispin Freeman says himself,
Yeah,
good
yeah,
actors
that's
borrow, great actors steal.
good
So,
actors borrow, but great actors steal. Yeah.
yeah.
And it's actually a quote from Steve Martin, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, pretty much a Steve Martin quote. Or Martin Short, one of the two.
I'm not entirely sure. I just got from Crispin.
Yeah, so if you watch, by the way, great podcast for those that voice acting mastery with Crispin Freeman. Just there you go. That's a good resource. And speaking of voice actors, just recently, I think conventions are kind of like another. It's really fine if you're just going just to, spend a few hours in, but it's also really great to, and I don't, yeah, I know we talk about networking and stuff like that, but yeah, it's great to just meet the voice actors who, you feel inspired by. Like I just recently met Yuri Lowenthal and Tara Platt, who actually signed this book, the voiceover voice actor book that I just got. And it's also a great resource. Yeah,
That's a
I
great book. I
ended up
have
getting,
that. That's
yeah,
such a good book.
I got their signatures, and I wish I could just run over there and show it, but
I
Yeah.
believe you. I believe you.
Yeah, maybe next time. Yeah. Or maybe I'll just post. No, I'll post it on my social media when I get time to post anything on my socials outside of just job announcements or whatever. But yeah, I did get their signatures. Let's see, who else did I meet? I just wore a Super Mario shirt yesterday. Charles Martinet, Jim Cummings, just a lot of these folks that I just literally grew up. They were my childhood, and just being able to, share about my journey and my experiences of working in the industry is like, it's kind of like, sort of like a book, like and we were just talking about four kids, like Lisa Ortiz or Ortiz?
Or
Yeah.
Ortiz. Lisa
Ortiz, yeah,
Ortiz.
Amy Rose. And it's like, just sharing with her about like, just personal, just stuff of like, with voiceover, just life in general, and, just getting to really shoot the breeze and just being really chill and casual. And they're also just really, kind of quirky and kind of funny in their own way. And when you really get to work with these people and just collab on a lot of this stuff, it just really makes just the best type of it really does make the best content. It really does.
It really does.
When you're
Like
just really
passion.
having fun. Yeah.
Love's the secret ingredient.
The secret ingredient of the Krabby Patty secret formula. I'm kidding. Yeah.
Mostly to everything. If you want something that's really good, put love to it.
For sure.
Like
Yeah.
I just wanted to add to that, like when I was working in solo leveling, Caitlin was just
Yeah,
incredibly
Caitlin. Yeah.
meticulous with like every single line. She wanted every line to sound like really good. If there's something that she didn't agree with, she's like, okay, redoing this entire line or just she mix everything up. Like these people really love what they do, and it shows. I mean,
Exactly.
she won an
Yeah.
award for it.
It's yeah. Well deserved. And it's so funny how she literally just contacted you being like, hey, you want to be in this show when you can't really do the auditions like in, you know, out of town. And you're just like, okay.
Yeah, I mean, to be
Just
even considered
spontaneous.
is
Yeah,
an honor. Is an honor, really.
exactly. Yeah. What happened to me? Because I know I was on vacation and then out of nowhere, I just got like, okay, here's what happened. I was literally just waking up and then I got an email saying like, oh, congrats, I got casted some stuff. Perfect. And then I end up getting like five, six audition emails just sent to my inbox, and I'm just like, we need this done next Monday. And I'm like, oh, I'm gonna be back Sunday, so might as well spend an hour or two just cooking in the booth after just getting back from a long car ride. Let's do this.
Yeah, that's how it
That's
is.
what
That's how it
happened. That's
is.
how it is. So I know we just kind of talked a lot about we just kind of literally just rambled for like 30 minutes. So anything else that you want to share, like social media, last bit of advice, anything that you're working on that you want to promote, just the floor is all yours. What would you like to promote and, just get last thoughts on before we sign out?
Um, that's a good one. I really want to end this strong. So,
Mm, yeah, putting you on
uh,
the spot.
yeah, I'm gonna go through my social media quickly because that's like whatever. You can find me at Charles Win VA at Instagram and on Twitter. It's the same in both. So that's my socials. Uh, if I want to give the biggest piece of advice, really towards anyone that is pursuing voice acting, specifically for anime and or video games, I would say, um, let loose. Let loose. Do not be scared to play your character, and having fun alongside loving this is the secret ingredient because my best auditions were the ones I had the most fun with, and directors heard that, and I got cast in shows because of that. So have fun because you're going to have your dry seasons in this. I've been voice acting for like 13 plus years, and there have been years where I'm like, I'm not getting any work because life happened or something like that. But once I get back, I focus on giving it my best and having fun because you're going to get rejected a lot. Believe me, rejection it's just life. But have fun because you will have those my eyes moments. You get into the booth and just scream at the top of your lungs, my eyes. or and you're working alongside passionate people too. So have fun.
Couldn't have said it better myself, honestly. Let's see. Would you like to do an outro closing for the podcast?
Uh, well, I guess thank you, Robert, for having me here. We really went through it all pretty fast, but I had a lot of fun with this interview, and I'm very grateful for you having me here. I really appreciate it.
Anytime, brother. But yeah, if I were to give any closing thoughts, just do it. Like Nike or I don't know. That's just pretty much my typical closing line. But if you guys are also interested, Rob Paulson is doing like a pitching a TV series. If you don't know, Yakko, Animaniacs, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, just very great dude. So he's pitching a TV show from what I know. So if you guys want to go on TikTok or Instagram and show your support or just say why you really want him to do that, definitely do so. He gives so much for the fans. So just return the favor. That's what we love doing. So thank you so much for watching. Just want to plug that in real quick. And also buy the books. Just Yuri and Tara, voice of a voice actor book. Great resource. Listen to the Voice Acting Mastery podcast with Crispin and watch this podcast too. If you're while you're ahead, like, subscribe, YouTube stuff, and I guess I'll see you all next time. Take care. And this is Robert Jackson, Station Square Podcast, signing out. Peace.